G'day world, and welcome back to Stuff We Do, where we do all the knife stuff you love. Knife reviews, knife tests, knife modifications, and outdoor stuff with knives. Today we are talking about the ESEE Churp. We're outside, it's dark, the kids need marshmallow skewers.
Right.
And the only thing we have with us is the ESEE Churp. Okay, what are we doing?
And a high-low torch.
And a high-low torch.
Okay.
What are we doing?
So, okay. ESEE is not very good with cutting dry.
Well, the normal one should be. This is a little.
Okay. So, what we do, this looks perfect. Okay, yeah, that's one.
Just like that. I actually thought you were going to actually
Okay, no,
sharpen the stick.
Okay, let's sharpen the stick.
Okay.
Okay. Survival of the fittest. What? Survival of
Randall's
schools.
Adventures
I can't
and
read
Training.
that.
Okay.
I have to say, making jokes and all, but this thing is extremely thin and sharp, easy to work with, even if you have
Very dry wood.
dry wood and a dusty mind. Okay, let's go. Next one.
Okay, so the verdict on this one?
Okay, this is really a nice present to give to someone.
Okay, leftover brunch.
Very sharp still.
Okay, I had this knife with me, or I took it with me as we went on a little weekend away. And I must say, I really do like this knife. Yeah, I think people get confused when they look at this knife, or even maybe when they talk about ESEEs. If you want an outdoor bushcraft knife, something like that, get yourself a rat, or maybe even, what's this thing, the Avispa. This was also made by Blue Ridge Knives. It's also in D2. This one has got FRN scales though, where with the little Churp we actually get Micarta scales and the D2. Okay, so if you want something more hardcore or something you're going to be using outdoors, get one of these. This knife cannot be compared to those knives. This is not a full-size hard-working knife. This is a backup knife, a food prep knife. You will use this knife for things that you would use, well, okay, maybe not a farmer, but that you would use a Victorinox knife for. Okay, so it's going to be a backup blade. This is not the only thing you're going to carry with you when you go into the wild wilderness. Let me just show you a size comparison while I have this thing out. And it excels at that. Fantastic blade shape. Look at that beautiful blade shape over there. Sorry about the messiness on it. Beautiful blade shape. It's a wonderful little knife. And as I said, this thing, yeah, it does seem to be a bit confused. We have this, this reminds me of those Portugal-made I think it's man knives. And some of the older knives had these big, huge liner locks. Okay, this one is quite big, okay. But it is very easy to close, which is good. Another thing, the fact that it has bearings in the pivot already tells you this is not made to be the hardest working knife in the world, but it does feel fantastic, and it fits my hand quite nicely, although you have to check because you are very close to the blade if you put your finger on top of the hump. If you put your finger on the hump, it is quite uncomfortable, and then you also feel the pocket clip. But if you put your finger above it, then the pocket clip actually, I don't know if you can see that, it fits there into my hand, so then it's not a problem anymore. Okay, so that is the way I've been holding this knife. It is a great knife. It's not going to be your only knife, but it's a great knife. If you have this in your pocket and something else, it is quite nice. Nice lanyard attachment. Pocket clip works. It's a huge pocket clip, but it does work quite nicely. It's definitely not deep carry because the whole top pokes out, but I suppose that's fine. And however thick your pants might be, this thing fits in there. Fit and finish on this thing is quite nice. Everything is rounded, everything is nice. Centering is a bit off to the clip side. We do have slight blade play, but that is, yeah, something you can expect from the bearings. And then I have found, if you, okay, I don't know if I can show you now. If you snap this thing hard enough, you can actually open it one-handed. So in countries where you're not allowed to open things one-handed, that's going to be a problem. And then it closes wonderfully. Okay, so overall, for the price, this thing is a little gem. It feels great. I've been playing with it. I like the fact that you can just hold it and open it like that, but I must say I did cut myself several times and it is very, very sharp. It's extremely sharp, this little knife. Okay, again, there's nothing that I want to cut right now. Let's see. Key accessories. Okay, so this thing is, oh, I'm cutting through a staple. Okay, so this thing is quite sharp. It works. It does whatever you want to do with it. Why do I always cut the weirdest things? I really need to get a sheet of paper next to me. But I cannot remember how much this costs. But it's cheap. Just Google ESEE and you will see. Okay, again, it's made by Blue Ridge Knives. Wonderful little pocket knife, but think about it as if it is a pocket knife and not a ESEE specifically, because when we think ESEE or Randall's Adventures and Training, we think Red, we think Avispa, we think something like that, and those are all great knives, but they are definitely more capable than this little thing. But I must say, if you just want something to throw in your pocket, open a few packages, cut up some food, things like that, this knife is wonderful. It's not threatening, it looks cool, it's great. If you want to take off the pocket clip, fantastic. I saw a few people swapping out the bearings for normal washers. That's fine, but remember, then you are pretty much just making yourself a normal pocket knife again. So you are losing all of the quirks on this thing. And that is part of the fun. Okay, stay safe, happy, and have a good one. Goodbye.